Even the mystery of Bermuda Triangle can be figured out one day, but understanding what's happening to our own belly, why it keeps growing, and how to reduce it has become a real mystery for most people. Belly fat has become a modern day pandemic. Physically and emotionally, millions of people are suffering just because of it. I read one analysis which kind of surprised me. Between 1970 and 2016, the number of people suffering from abdominal obesity in India almost increased by 4 times. Today, nearly 4 out of every 10 women struggle with belly fat. Even in our own yoga programs, 200 to 300 students ask about belly fat every single day. But today, I'm going to solve this mystery for you. Where does belly fat come from? How does it develop? What mistakes are we making without even realizing it? And other than beauty and looks, what serious health risks does having a large belly causes? And most importantly, if you have decided to reduce your belly fat, what should you actually do? I'll explain everything clearly, scientifically, and in a way that anyone can understand. By the end of this video, you won't just have the clarity, but you will also have the confidence that you can also reduce your tummy. So let's get started. So where does belly fat come from? To understand belly fat, let's quickly go back to history. Thousands of years ago, we all know that humans lived in forests and mountains. Some days they used to hunt and eat, but some days they couldn't. But on the days when there is no food, their body still had to function, right? Walking, hunting, protecting themselves, everything needs energy. But where does this energy come from? There were no energy drinks back then, right? That's when our body developed a survival mechanism called lipogenesis. On days when the food we eat is more than what we burn, the body stores the extra food as fat. This isn't unique to humans actually, it happens in almost all animals. You might have heard this before. A lion hunts once in a while and then survives without food for the next 4 to 5 days. Our body also works in the same way. But here is the problem. Humans evolved. Farming was invented. Food became easily available every single day. But the body is innocent. It never stopped following lipogenesis. So even today, it thinks that what if there is no food tomorrow? And it stores that excess food that we eat today as fat, which basically never gets used because, of course, we have food for tomorrow as well, right? And this becomes a cycle. But why does fat goes into the belly only? Why not arms? Why not legs? Why always the stomach? Before answering that, let's understand something very, very interesting about fat. There are actually two types of fat, the two cousins, I would say. Number one is subcutaneous fat, which is kind of stored under your skin. Number two is visceral fat, which is stored around your organs like liver, pancreas, intestines, etc. Actually, if you have ever done a body composition test, you might have noticed these two words in the report. Both these fat types are not good, but subcutaneous fat, it's not the real danger, to be honest. It's kind of okay to have because it sometimes keeps us warm from cold weather, right? But the visceral fat, it is the real villain. It's the bad brother. It wraps around the vital organs, the liver, intestines, kidney, pancreas, and causes many health risks. And here is the secret. Nearly 90% of the belly fat is visceral fat. That's why belly fat is so dangerous, because it is visceral fat in majority. So why does visceral fat prefer the belly? Let's know the reasons. Number one reason is genetics. In India, we always followed caste and community based professions, which often ran through generations. A business family has sons, their sons continuing the same business, farming family doing agriculture for almost all generations. Basically, you get the point, right? If a family lineage followed low activity lifestyle for generations, their genes also adapt accordingly. After few generations, it is inked in their body. If you have noticed, families involved in farming or living in hilly regions like Northeast or Uttarakhand, despite eating similar food or same quantity of food, they still maintain fit and flat tummies. So yes, genetics decide where fats get stored in our body to some extent. But hey, we can't change our genes, right? but you can change the other things that are impacting your belly fat. Let's know what they are. Reason number 2, in fact one of the main reasons, lack of core activity. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever kept gold or cash at home? You might know some bada babu having gold biscuits or black money in suitcases, right? Do they ever store it in the middle of the hall where everybody keeps coming and going? Or do they keep it secretly in some corner in the room, in a locker? Yes, it is stored in a room where there is very little activity. Your body thinks the same way too. Our fathers, grandfathers, forefathers, they all walked a lot. They climbed slopes, stairs without any help of elevators or escalators. They bent, lifted, squatted for all their daily activities. All these movements engage the core muscles, which are basically inside your stomach. But us, we drive cars instead of walking, we hardly squat anymore, we choose comfort over movement. Our core hardly gets engaged in the day-to-day activity anymore. The least used area becomes the storage zone. That's why for most people, the belly is the first place the fat appears. But that's not all. There is another major reason too, which is stress. In fact, this is the biggest trigger. Research shows that people under stress has 24% higher risk of belly fat. Stress is here, belly is here. How are they even connected? Let's understand. Stress releases a hormone called cortisol. And guess where cortisol receptors are highest in the body? In your belly region. If you are stressful more frequently, there is more chance you release higher levels of cortisol, which triggers these receptors which are in the belly and eventually lead to more belly fat. In men, stress also reduces testosterone. Low testosterone also leads to higher belly fat. That's why many men suddenly start developing belly fat in their 30s, even though their lifestyle remains the same as in their 20s. So genetics start your belly fat, lack of movement supports it, stress amplifies it. You see the big picture now? Let's be honest. Most of us are worried about belly fat because we can't fit into those t-shirts or dresses anymore, right? Without looking a little fat, correct? But there is more risk to belly fat than actually looking good. Let's talk about it. Why belly fat is dangerous? We spoke about visceral fat and organs, remember? We also said 90% of the belly fat is visceral fat. Now let's know this as well. Visceral fat easily mixes in blood. This blood keeps going back and forth to your heart throughout the day. After many years of this movement, fat particles can actually get lodged into your arteries, leading to blockages, heart attacks, and strokes. That's why cardiologists always ask you to lose a little weight when your reports show cholesterol. Belly fat also affects your liver. It gets stored in and around the liver. Over a period of time, it causes fatty liver too. And then there is another common problem that a lot of people face today, which is type 2 diabetes. In fact, visceral fat increases insulin resistance. It doesn't let your cells to absorb the glucose effectively. So glucose stays in the blood over the allowed limits, which is what gets shown in your diabetes reports basically. PCOD, infertility, kidney issues, joint inflammation, almost all modern lifestyle diseases are directly or indirectly linked to the belly fat. Reducing belly fat is not just about slim waist or looking good, it's about the long-term health. But don't worry, I'm not trying to scare you. Not everybody who has belly fat has all the risks. You might probably be in the safe zone. Do you want to know? Let's take a small test. Take a measuring tape, the one that we use for tailoring at home, right? Just take it, measure your waist with that tape. Just above your belly, put that tape and measure what is the size. If you are a woman and the measurement is above 80 centimeters, then there might be some risk of the issues that I mentioned before. If you are a man and the measurement is above 90 centimeters, then you might also be in the risk zone too. Of course, one size doesn't fit all. Based on your height, this might vary too. If you are interested to know, there is a table I'm showing you here. Just check your height and the gender and know your risk accordingly. If you are in the risk zone, then it is definitely time to act. You cannot ignore belly fat anymore. So, what to do to reduce belly fat the right way? There are 3 things that you can do right from today. Number 1 is food. In fact, this is the most important one, and that's why I'm saying number 1. Do you remember the caveman story we spoke at the beginning of the video? The belly fat actually started with that little excess food, correct? So, To reduce the belly fat, start adding 20% deficit in your calories. There is an 80% rule from Japan called Hara Hachibu. If your stomach is 80% full, then you should stop eating for that particular meal. Stop eating when you feel just satisfied, not full. Another super ninja technique that you can use to lose fat: eat a small salad before your rice or roti. Salad has fiber, and fiber fills your stomach and reduces overeating. If you do these two, then also start avoiding late night eating. Finish dinner before 8 p.m. After sunset, the insulin sensitivity drops. The later in the night you eat dinner, the lesser it should be. Maintain a 12 to 14 hour gap between your dinner and the breakfast. If you are having dinner at 8 p.m. and breakfast at say 9 p.m., then that is wonderful window to clear your gut and prepare you for the next day. Reduce any food that is not cooked at your house. Most of the food that is available outside, both packaged and cooked, it contains a lot of trans fats. These are the worst kind of synthetic fats which can go into our body. Reduce these at any cost. We understood about food, right? If you take care of your food, it starts the fat loss. But to sustain it, there is one more thing that you have to do, which is stress management. The next important thing in your fat loss journey. No matter how much you follow diets, how much you do workouts, if your cortisol stays high, belly fat won't go. On a daily basis, include at least 5 minutes stress buster routine. Pranayama and meditation are excellent for this. You can try Kapalbhati, which improves metabolism. You can try Nadi Shodhana and Brahmari, which reduces overthinking and anxiety, and followed by 5 minutes of meditation, which can reduce your stress significantly. If you do this, within 2 weeks, your cortisol levels can actually be reduced by 30 to 40%. You know what? If your stress is reduced, you will also sleep better, which takes us to the next important factor of our fat loss, which is your sleep. People sleeping less than 6 hours have a 37% higher risk of visceral fat. Just have 4 days of deep sleep and you can improve insulin sensitivity by almost 30% and reduce your risk of belly fat a lot. My personal suggestion is aim for 7 hours of quality sleep. Maintain a sleep routine. Go to bed on time, wake up on time is a simple change you can make. Turn your screens off 1 hour before the sleep. Use warm lights at home, not white lights. Warm lights at home after 8 p.m. All these changes, if done together, can improve your sleep significantly. And if you are doing all these three, food, stress and sleep, finally a small thing that you can add, which is exercise. I said finally because, let me clarify one thing, there is no such exercise in the world that can burn your belly fat alone. Can you choose where the food that you eat gets deposited in the body as fat? Then how can you choose where it gets withdrawn during exercise? Instead of trying online belly fat exercises, try simple, regular, consistent movement. Even light exercise for 20 minutes, if done for 5 to 6 days a week, can work wonders for your body. Finally, belly fat is not complicated. Small, consistent lifestyle changes can completely transform your body. I have seen this repeatedly in our students. Now it's your turn. If you are looking for guidance, more motivation, then you can also join our 14 days free yoga program. We conduct a batch every Monday. Already some lakhs of students have participated in Telugu and English. The link is in the description. Just register. You will get all the details over WhatsApp. Irrespective of that, follow the tips that I have shared in this video for reducing the belly fat. I tried to share a lot of fundamentals about belly fat in this video. If you follow this consistently, I'm sure that you will see a drastic change in the body. Let me know how you felt. Let me know how much useful this is to you in the comments. If you like the video, definitely give a like. It will reach more people. If you think anybody in your friends or family can find this video helpful, do share it with them. We'll meet you in the next video. If you want to join our 14 days free program, link is in the description. I'm sharing again. Okay, all the very best.